Hail, men of the Modern Crusade. This is a very quick video for demonstrational purposes. So, a lot of what I talk about and deal with is, self-improvement, how to conduct yourself with confidence, and how to put yourself forward in a good manner. And one of the big, massive aspects of that I think people sort of neglect nowadays quite a bit is how someone dresses in certain circumstances, right? Because, a true alpha male is comfortable with change. He is comfortable with, things which are abnormal. And nowadays, wearing a dress shirt is rather abnormal, at least for younger guys. And that's mostly who this is, specified towards, though this definitely applies to men of any age if you're wearing your shirt wrong. So this shirt that I'm wearing right now, this shirt is what could be considered a perfect fit for a shirt that was not tailored. I got this at a Savers for like $8, and this is a perfectly fitting shirt, or at least as close as you can get to it. And there are a few key things that I want to point out to you for when you guys are looking for a nice dress shirt for yourselves, for whatever the occasion may be, that you should look for. So a lot of what people have an issue with, especially younger guys, is when they're wearing a dress shirt, they look like they're just wearing their dad's dress shirt that he doesn't wear much anymore. And you want to avoid that, because that makes you look immature. It makes you look less confident, because you look like you're wearing a shirt that's too big is usually the problem. And so this is a well-fitted shirt. A few things to look out for is that you feel an ever so slight sort of tug around the chest and upper back. You don't want it pulling on the buttons. If you see the buttons are pulled out like this, even a little bit, you don't want to get that shirt, because that shirt is going to be too tight. And then if you're a more muscularly built guy, one thing that you want to look for, and I always wear my sleeves rolled up. I just think that looks the best for me. But when you flex, you should have, ideally, a good bit of tug on your arms. Not to the point where it's like cutting off circulation so that you can't flex your biceps. But when you do it, you want to be able to get a little bit of the clothing pulling on it. And then the third sort of thing to consider and look out for is in the back. Nobody ever pays attention to the goddamn back of their shirt, and it's a concern. But so if you look at mine, and I cannot see what I'm looking, what you guys are seeing as well right now, but you will see, there is not much flap in the back. There is not much of any extra fabric in the back. And that is a very important thing to look out for. And, with some shirts, you're just not going to be, and some body types, you're not going to be able to avoid that, right? With big buff guys who have a skinny waist, that's unfortunately, unless you get your shirts tailored for you personally, or if you can find a clothing brand that sells an athletic fit that is bigger in the chest and the shoulders and the arms and a little smaller in the waist, unless you can find that, you're going to have a little bit of it. But you really do want to minimize that extra fabric as much as you can. You should have, ideally, I find it's an inch to an inch and a half of extra fabric. If you hold your arms out, about an inch to an inch and a half of extra fabric on the sides, and maybe a little bit more around the waist, but usually that's the way to go. If you have more than that, you're going to get this sort of look of, those Spanish guys' shirts that are moderately well-fitting throughout, but then they got the super poofy sleeves. You're gonna have a bit of that look, because those are usually a little bit extra in the back as well. So those are three things to watch out for when you're buying a nicer button-down shirt for yourself. Also, bonus tip: if you want to, if you're a more muscular guy as well, which a lot of you are, a lot of you follow me for fitness stuff, roll your goddamn sleeves up, because, unfortunately, we don't get to walk around in tank tops all the goddamn time. God knows if we could, we would, but we can't. So, you know, the only sort of muscle that you're really going to be able to show through your, you know, with your shirt on is those goddamn massive forearms, right? And actually my forearm doesn't look very good. There we go, that's a better angle. So you want to be able to show that off. Plus, I mean, ask any young girl right now, they'll say, like, a guy becomes at least 30% hotter when he rolls his goddamn sleeves up, because that, you know, that looks just manly, and, you know, it's a good thing. Consider doing that as well, depending on the situation. Of course, you know, if you're wearing a suit, don't bother rolling your sleeves up. But if you're just in a dress shirt, just in the sort of outfit that I'm in, consider it. It'll do you well. Highlanders, keep rising.